right. I'm going to try to say your last name. You're going to correct me. Van Deventer.
Van Deventer.
Van Deventer. Got it. Van Deventer. Van Deventer.
The 2021 Indiana. It's Friday night and time for Indiana High School football on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, let's go to the field for Indiana High School football live on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Bad V.
There you go. Bad EV.
Bad V. Okay. So let's, when it gets close, do a 3, 2,
I'm gonna search. I'm not sure. I gotta just.
Yeah.
I've got
I would. Yeah, you already have the stream up, so when we start talking, just make sure you. For that first down.
Kind of a big early down here, John, for the Greenwood defense. They have not gotten a lot of pressure in the backfield so far this season through 4 games.
Plainfield with a run up the left side. Not enough yardage. Going to get stopped short. Plainfield looking at a 4th down opportunity here, and here comes the kicking team.
Yeah, pretty big stop there for the Woodmen to try to get this momentum on their side early in the game. And John, this is one of my keys to the game tonight. Ride the momentum tonight, especially for Greenwood. It's homecoming here at Greenwood High School. Big Jack crowd over there on the other sidelines from where we are. And so if you're the Woodmen, you got to score early and try to pounce on Plainfield.
Plainfield here lining up for the punt. Nice snap. Nice little kick there with a little bit of height. Lands at the 40, good bounce. Makes its way out of bounds, and Plainfield will pick it up at the 31-yard line.
Okay.
And now the Woodmen will start their first drive of the game.
Can you check our live?
So like you said, Thad, riding the momentum, Greenwood coming off of a 3-game losing streak, their first win against Seymour for the first game of the season. Plainfield coming off of a fresh win, losing their first 3. So like you said, riding that momentum. Greenwood with a big throw here for the first throw of the game. Close. Wide receiver was in range, but it is an incomplete pass, and Greenwood looking at the 2nd down now.
Coach Campbell for the Woodmen taking a shot early on 1st down there. I kind of like that. Greenwood typically, they want to ground and pound you. They're averaging over 180 yards on the ground each and every game out, but their quarterback Riddle, he's got some skills. I like how they put it up in the air there on 1st down.
Greenwood here, 2nd and 10. And they'll take the snap, run it up the middle, get a few yards there for a 3rd and 7 opportunity.
And that's kind of typical Woodman offense right there. They're going to pretty much stay in between the tackles. They're going to rely a lot on that offensive line. They want to see a big push up there. Honestly, if Coach Campbell had his way, he probably wouldn't throw the ball. he would just want to run it every single down, run it up and down the field if he could.
I would agree with that. Plainfield averaging 1.4 sacks a game. Very aggressive defense. Definitely got to run, and if you do pass, you got to get it out quick. Plainfield's coming.
Good look there at Ethan Pringle, the wide receiver for Greenwood. He's kind of their one big play guy. Not huge in stature, but a very, very quick, kind of shifty guy. There you saw him coming in on the quick slant.
Greenwood here with a 4th and 1. Big opportunity here. Riddle, the quarterback, taking a moment. And he gives a quick handoff. Not sure if he got that. Let's see. And they will give it to him at a first down for Greenwood.
That was Burnett on the carry, number 48. He's their leading rusher on the season. He comes in tonight 394 yards. He's just shy of 100 yards per game, averaging 98. So he's the workhorse back there. And they will line him up sometimes at tailback, sometimes at fullback. They'll kind of diversify his workload.
Greenwood here with the run on the left side. They'll get a little extra yardage, and just like you said, Thad, they're going to ground and pound tonight.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're pretty content to kind of run like a 1985 Big Ten offense, if you will. You know, you line it up, Bo Schembechler, Woody Hayes, 3 yards, cloud of dust. They would love that. And then the other thing that does, obviously, that can be your best defense because you're keeping the other offense off the field.
Greenwood here, 2nd and 9. Takes the snap again, runs it up the middle, a few yards there, and looking at a 3rd and short.
Pretty good push there from the Plainfield defense. I was looking into this game, John, and when you look at the front 7 for Plainfield, 15 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks on the season. Those guys up front for them can make some plays, and that's really where this game tonight's going to be won. Up front, the front 5, front 6 for Greenwood against that, the inside the box 7 for Plainfield.
Brock Riddle with the throw to the right side. And that is caught by Jackson Heisig for a nice gain of a few yards, but looking at a 4th and 5 opportunity here. Greenwood brings their punter out, and they will kick. Plainfield lines up at the 20-yard line.
We can stand there from the Quaker defense.
There, nice kick with a little bit of height. Lands at the 20 and a good bounce. Going towards the end zone, but stopped right at about the 6-yard line. Great punt by Greenwood, and not good starting position for Plainfield.
Yeah, playing that field position game early. Nice punt. They got a nice forward roll there towards the end zone, and now the Quakers got to start inside their own 10.
That was a great kick there by William Riley. Punter. Now Plainfield with their backs against the end zone on the 6-yard line will try to go the length of the field to put some points on the board. Quarterback Hunter Newell gives a handoff. To his running back, Troy Larison. Larison for a small gain there. And Plainfield sitting with a 2nd and 8.
Larison's kind of their main feature back, if you will, for the Quakers, but they've got 3 guys that have been over 125 yards already on the season, so they've got multiple options in the backfield.
Newell snaps the ball. Gives a quick dish off to Larison. Larison goes the right side. He's got open field, but gets knocked out of bounds. And a nice gain there by Plainfield, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, good move on the outside. And honestly, I think that's kind of where Plainfield's going to have to make some hay here this evening, John. I don't know if they're going to be able to line up man for man and keep it in between the tackles, I think they're going to have to get it outside, get Larison out and in some space, You had wide receiver Grant Irwin last week with a couple of big plays. So let's get him on the outside. Let's let our athletes do some work.
Hunter Newell with a high snap there, gives it off to Larson again for a run. It's a few yards on that rush there. And Plainfield running the ball.
That's kind of what I'm talking about, you know. Now the high snap maybe throw up the timing a little bit, but that time they're trying to go, you know, off right tackle there, and a great push there from the Woodman kind of stifles that right at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for a couple, but I still think, you know, if they can get some pitches on the outside, maybe a couple fake options with Newell, get those guys out into some space.
Plainfield now, 2nd and 9. Quick snap over to Larson, again gets pulled a little bit by Greenwood.
There was a flag that came out.
Yeah, might be a hold there, Thad. Kind of saw him tugging on his jersey, stopping that forward progress. We might have gotten a little, maybe 2 extra yards, but let's see what the referees say here. Referees talking it over.
Kind of a deliberation moment here.
And that is a hold on Plainfield, so they will lose some yardage. Oh, looks like there was a penalty also on Greenwood, so those will offset that. It was a hold on Plainfield. I didn't catch what the call was on Greenwood.
I'm curious if it could have been potentially a horse collar from where the defender had the running back's kind of the top back of his shoulder pads there. Not sure, but possibility there was a flag.
Under Newell with Troy Larson. They're in the backfield. Newell takes the snap, steps back a little bit, scrambles, gets some nice yardage, makes his way to the 40-yard line, slides, and a nice gain for Plainfield, and that'll be a first down.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Greenwood defense. Good coverage in the back, right? Now you've got no one to throw it to. They had some pressure from the outside, but they didn't have anyone in the middle of the field, and Newell had so much space to have positive yardage on that one.
A nice gain, about 20 yards on that run by quarterback Hunter Newell. Some nice momentum here for Plainfield. Let's see if they can keep it up. Newell calling out a linebacker there. The Quakers will snap the ball, looks to his right side, a nice throw, nice stiff arm, gets some extra yardage, got his way to the first down. And a great catch there by Williams. Antonio Williams there for Plainfield. And a nice gain and another first down, Thad.
Really, really nice timing route there off the right side, little quick slant. And the one thing with the Greenwood defense, they're going to start with 3 down linemen. And it's up to quarterback Newell there to figure out who that 4th rusher is going to be. He did a great job of calling it out when they got to the line, hit his receiver right in stride.
The Quakers now on the 50-yard line. Score is still 0-0, 4 minutes left in this first quarter. And Newell will give a handoff to Larson. 2 spin moves there. He gets some forward progress. And a nice gain of about 5 yards. Plainfield with the momentum here, Thad.
Yeah, nice job there by Larson. Couple of spin moves to get some positive yardage there. 4 or 5 out there. Now they're into Woodman territory. And I really like this rhythm right now from Plainfield. It's not necessarily a hurry up, but they got some good rhythm. Newell's calling the shots. And the other thing we haven't talked about yet, the Plainfield offensive line is bigger than the Greenwood defensive line. Those guys, you know, let them go to work a little bit, you know, push on those guys.
And that's a timeout by Plainfield. They're going to take a moment to regroup and figure out what they're going to do on this 2nd and 5 opportunity. So we'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break here during this timeout, and we'll be back here in a few moments here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you.
Can you hear us?
Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today.
Second and 1. So we'll look to see maybe a rush or a quarterback sneak here, right, Ben?
Yeah, kind of a high snap on that one, and Newell kind of made the best of a bad situation. But here, I think you got to go back to your running back, right up the middle. Those guys up front have been doing the work on this drive. Let them finish it off.
So Noah Hassan actually in the backfield here, wide receiver, and he takes the snap, goes right up the middle, touchdown, Quakers. Quakers now on the board with 6, set themselves up for this extra kick here. How about that, Thad? Again, wide receiver Noah Hassan steps in for Troy Larison and takes it up the middle.
Yeah, Hassan's got some carries on the season. He's not the workhorse, but he's a pretty good factor that they've got. He's a difference maker for him. But how about a 92-yard drive? Really silenced the Greenwood crowd here on homecoming. That's big time from the Quakers.
Quakers here line up for the extra point. Kicker Cameron Grimes here. Nice little kick, gets over, and that extra point is good. Plainfield now up 7-0 with 2:47 left in this first quarter.
Yeah, gorgeous drive there from Plainfield, 92 yards, as we mentioned just a second ago. I want to go back to that kick. That's kind of like, a nice little sand wedge right there. A lot of loft, not too much distance. Gorgeous right through the uprights. But when we talked about earlier, John, you got to ride that momentum. Greenwood's coming out, ton of energy, packed house, homecoming. They stifle Plainfield, but what does Plainfield do? Quakers get a great stop on the defensive side of the ball, and then they march methodically 92 yards, chew up a bunch of clock. Now they've got the lead 7-0. And if you're Coach Woodard for Plainfield, you got to be pretty happy with how this first 10 minutes or whatever is gone for you here.
Absolutely. In fact, you mentioned Plainfield's size on that offensive line. Greenwood's defense only averaging 0.3 sacks a game. And we talked about Plainfield 1.4, but the Greenwood defense is a little smaller than Plainfield. It's going to have to work extra to get some big stops.
Yeah, the Greenwood defense, their playmakers are kind of in the back end, right? They've got a really talented safety. They've got a couple of linebackers there in the middle that make a ton of plays. They've all got between 30 and 33 tackles on the season, but up front is kind of where they've been lacking, and Plainfield's going to try to take advantage of that.
Great kick there, just goes out of bounds. So that'll be some extra yardage from Greenwood. Just a few yards short of a touchback. And the Greenwood student section starting to get a little more involved here, Pat.
Yeah, trying to get rowdy, trying to get some life over there on the sidelines for the Woodmen, and it's kind of a good chance here. This was one of those drives early in the game. Obviously not a must-score situation, but for Greenwood, if nothing else, you got to chew up some clock, and you got to get a couple of first downs, if not just to get your defense a couple of breathers over there.
So quarterback Brock Riddle here with a single back formation, hands it off, and a short run of about 3 yards there by Hessig there for Greenwood.
Yeah, Hessig's a little bit of their change of pace guy, if you will. You know, Burnett's going to get most of the carries. Hessig's going to come in, and like we talked about, Coach Cam on the offense, you know, they want to chew up the clock. They want to get positive yardage on the ground, and then they're going to pick their spots with Riddle to try to get it into the air.
Again, with the single back formation, they're going to continue to run the ball. And that's Hessig's again, but it gets stopped. And now Greenwood looking at a 3rd and 8.
And this is the exact position that the Greenwood offense does not necessarily want to be in. 3rd and long on their own end of the field here. This is kind of a big early play for them. Let's see what quarterback Riddle can dial up. They got their big tight end lined up out here in the slot on the right side. He's not normally that far out.
And that's an incomplete pass by Greenwood there. Now looking at a 4th and 9. And the kicking team comes out. And another 4 and out, Thad.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of what we talked about here. 3 and out there for Greenwood, and now Plainfield. You know, granted, however this punt's going to go here, but they've got a chance to take total control of this ball game here early in the first.
Greenwood gets ready to kick with 1 minute 38 seconds left in this first quarter. Ball is snapped. A nice kick. This one going forward. A nice bounce, and that's going to roll out at the 19-yard line.
Yeah, that's a pretty good punt there, John. And, you know, it doesn't completely flip the field position, but that's 2 kicks or 2 punts now inside the 20 for Greenwood. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah, some nice kicks there from their last 2 punts. First kick landed at the 6-yard line. Now that one at the 19-yard line. Special teams is definitely working out for Greenwood so far.
Let's see what Plainfield elects to do here offensively. We saw them, you know, on that drive the last time they had it, really have a lot of success on the outside running the ball. We saw Newell with the big quarterback keeper there on kind of a broken play early, but it was most of their damage on that last drive was on the ground.
Quakers line up, single back formation with Larson in the back, and a pass over to Noah Hassong. Noah Hassong gets an open field, goes, and a flag down on the play. He gets tipped up at the 35-yard line, but we have a flag on the play.
And that one might come back. I'm not sure. It could be holding on that other wide receiver that was lined up out to the left, but a gorgeous play design there from Plainfield, and I think they knew what Greenwood was kind of thinking, right? Hey, these guys ate us up on the ground earlier. So they kind of loaded the box, and Plainfield's like, hey, we'll just toss it out here, get our guy out in space.
And it's exactly what you said, Thad. Isaiah Miller for Plainfield gets a holding call, so that will come back, and that gain is now erased. Coach was not happy with Isaiah Miller, gave him some words. Shortly after that flag was thrown, he knew. So now Plainfield with a 1st and 7 now. After that 5-yard penalty. Newell snaps the ball, hands it off up the middle, and a nice run there by Antonio Williams. And they will get a 1st down.
Yeah, that time off the left side. Really nice job up front again from the big fellas. And, you know, a lot of people call those guys the big uglies, Sean. But if you're a running back, you're a quarterback, those guys are the big beautifuls, you know? I mean, they're the ones that's making all the big plays, giving you the time, giving you the space that you need. And right now, the Quakers guys up front, they're doing the work.
Absolutely. Plainfield finding some open space, getting some nice yardage here. As they line up, 1st and 10 with 30 seconds left in this first quarter. And a handoff and a big truck move to get past the defender, get an extra 20 yards, and another 1st down for Plainfield. How about this run game, Ted?
You want to talk about bringing the wood, young man. Had some space up the middle, met that guy right there, and just ran him over. Gorgeous play there, and I'm just telling you, I'm super impressed right now with this Plainfield offensive line. And, you know, I know the Quakers are going to throw it a little bit because you have to, but, man, those guys are just eating up the Greenwood defense up front.
6-second differential from the play clock and game clock, 7 seconds. This will be the last play of this first quarter. Plainfield will run it up the middle. Gets a few yards, but will be short. I'm not sure if they gained any yardage or lost yardage on that play. Looks like they didn't gain anything. So that'll be a 2nd and 10. So that is the end of the first quarter. Plainfield up 7-0 as they continue this drive. We'll go ahead and take a 1-minute break, and we'll be right back with the start of the second quarter.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Genesis Sports Performance Training, Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Plainfield resumes their drive here, 2nd and 10, right on the 45-yard line, or 50, sorry, and a big run there by Troy Larison. Gets a nice gain in the first down.
Kind of the second move there by Larison. He looked to cut it up in between. The safety came up for Greenwood, was kind of right in position, but Larison with a nice little juke gets it to the outside. Big gain.
Plainfield really dominating the rush tonight, and a lot of that is in part to their offensive line, like we were talking, Thad. Much bigger than that defensive line by Greenwood, and Plainfield exploiting what they can with this run game and moving the ball and keeping the momentum.
Hey, Mark.
Newell takes the ball, scrambles, gets another first down, and just short of the end zone, steps out at the 3-yard line.
A nice pump fake there by Newell. He was outside the pocket. He had a couple of defenders coming at him, and he pass faked it there, a little pump fake, and took it right down the sideline. And Plainfield in position now to really punch another one in, take complete control of this football game.
Plainfield discussing their next move here with the first and goal opportunity, 5 yards short of the paint. And they're going to take it up the middle for a run, and that's going to be another touchdown by the Quakers. This rushing game has been great tonight, Pat.
Yeah, huge buzz there up front from the offensive line, just pushing the Woodmen right back into their own goal line and in for 2. And then how about this, John? They got a 92-yard drive for a touchdown, and then how about an 81-yard drive for a touchdown? I mean, they're just marching it down the field right now.
They sure are, and that touchdown by Antonio Williams. So both tailbacks for the Quakers have scored a touchdown here tonight. Quakers line up for this extra point and gets it through the uprights, and now makes it official. Quakers up 14-0 just at the start of the second half here with 11 minutes and 37 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Campbell and the guys over there in green right now, you got to regroup here. Game's not over. Early in the second quarter, you got plenty of time. But you really got to figure some things out. The offense hasn't really moved the ball that much. We've seen the defense kind of, get in some trouble and kind of just let the Quakers march up and down on them a little bit.
Plainfield here gets ready to kick it off back to the Woodmen. Woodmen down 14 points, trying to get back in this. Crowd trying to hype them up a little bit. And a nice kick there by Plainfield, caught up at 10. Greenwood taking it up. Some nice space. It's knocked out at the 27-yard line. And now Greenwood looking to try and get some points on the board. The last two possessions have been 3 and out.
Yeah, solid return there, and then Brock Riddle, the quarterback. Let's see what he can do. Talk to us guys in the huddle. Like we talked about, Greenwood, their focus is running the football. That's what they're kind of, their whole game plan is precedent on running the ball and picking up first downs, and they have not been able to do that just yet. Big credit to Plainfield's defense on that, but for Greenwood, it's early, but they may have to look to get the ball a little bit more in the air. They got a couple of guys. Pringle outside is really active. He's kind of their shifty guy that can get out in space. They got a really productive tight end and Campbell, the coach's son, and he's very athletic, very big, very skilled. So maybe you got to try to go to the air a little bit early in this game. I know that's not their tendency, but 14-0 kind of dictates where you're at.
Riddle snaps the ball, looks immediately to his right side, throws it to his wide receiver, and that will be Amari Middleton for a nice gain there. Still second down for Greenwood.
And I think that's good for Greenwood, right? You're keeping the Plainfield defense honest, if you will, but just like a short little out route, 5-6 yards, nice little in rhythm pass for Riddle. See if you can pick up some yardage.
Riddle snaps again, throws it over the right side, almost picked by Plainfield, but they will drop it. Greenwood will retain possession, and now looking at a third down.
Man, prime opportunity there for the Quaker defense. Nearly had a pick, and if he would have picked that up, could have been pick 6 territory out there on the sideline. But for Greenwood offensively on that play, it looked like they had 2 receivers kind of in the same location, so it might have been miscommunication or somebody kind of ran the wrong route.
Riddle snaps, immediately looks over to his right side again. I almost feel like they've tried the same play 3 times in a row, Thad.
Yeah, on the right side, they were looking over there for Middleton again, and we'll see what Greenwood's going to do here, 4th and 5, and it looks like the punting unit's going to come in. But yeah, I agree with you, John. That was 3 plays, 2 basically to the sideline, and 1 kind of little in route there on the 3rd and 5 play, or 3rd and 4. Unsuccessful, and I don't know. Greenwood's got to find some rhythm there offensively. Still plenty of time.
Greenwood with the third and out here, and they'll punt it out to the 30-yard line, caught by Plainfield. Kind of fell catching that ball, so won't get any additional yardage. But Plainfield with better field position than their last 2 drives. Both drives were touchdowns. But Plainfield starting here at the 34-yard line. Yeah, best field position they've had so far tonight. But pretty good coverage there on the punt by Greenwood. But kind of similar to what we talked about on Greenwood offensively here. Defensively, you might need to show Plainfield a little something. I know it's early in the game, and maybe you don't want to necessarily stack the box, but maybe bring in an extra safety. You get that 8th man into the box, because they've been kind of chewing you up at the line of scrimmage, and maybe just try to go hat on hat, if you will, right, and make some plays. So now Plainfield here, looking to add some more points to the board. We've got Newell here with Antonio Williams in the backfield. Sorry, that's Noah Hassam. Newell will go back over, try to get some extra yardage, but gets tackled by Greenwood, and that will be a sack. So a loss of 1 yard here, 2nd and 11 for Plainfield.
And that was Riley in on the head. That'll count as a sack because he was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. But that's the first time in this game we've seen the Woodmen get into the backfield and make a play against Plainfield.
Exactly. Big defensive play there by Greenwood. Defense hopefully trying to get into this, as Plainfield has been able to run the ball freely in that first quarter. So now Newell looks over to his right side, throws it over to Caden Vanderbush, but drops it. No one around him, just couldn't get a hold of it. And that's an incomplete pass, and now a 3rd and 11 for Plainfield.
And not necessarily that they're bringing a lot of pressure or blitzes, but Greenwood has creeped a couple guys up towards the line of scrimmage. Plainfield trying to take advantage of that because they know they got one-on-one on the outside. That one was just a drop, but I like the play call there from Plainfield. Just didn't execute it fully.
So now Plainfield looking at a 3rd and 11, which they haven't seen too much of tonight. Newell takes the snap, looks over to the right side, makes a quick throw, threads the needle, and it's caught by Noah Hassam, but that will be short of the first down, and now Plainfield looking at a 4th and short. Newell heading over to the sidelines, and the special teams unit coming out to the field.
Yeah, good pass and catch, but a really nice tackle right there at the catch for Greenwood. No yards after the catch, kept him short of the line to gain, and a really good stop for the Greenwood defense right there. And they don't even have a guy back deep here. They've got everyone up front. They think that maybe Coach Woodard might try to roll the dice, trick play, special play here.
Plainfield, a lot of movement as they snap the ball for the kick. Held on to the ball a little bit, kicked it, and Plainfield ready for that, and it's going to roll a little bit to the 20-yard line, and now Greenwood makes a defensive stop, will get the ball and try to move this 80 yards to try and get some points on the board tonight.
Man, John, I got to tell you, there's guys getting paid a bunch of dollars to be special teams coordinators on Sundays, and nobody did it better than what Coach Woodard did it right there. He's got Greenwood think they might fake it. Then it's the long snap back to the punter, and he kind of rugby styles it, so he's holding on to the ball, so the defense is kind of stagnant. And then he punts it down inside the 20. Gorgeous special teams there from Plainfield.
So now the Woodmen here at the 15-yard line, snap the ball and run the left side. And there's a flag on the play.
There is a flag on the play.
That was Burnett again off the left side. Let's see where that flag came down or what it is, but I think it's going to be a hold against the Woodmen.
Referee's discussing it here. Ready to make the call. And Greenwood's moving backwards, so it will be on Greenwood.
Holding, Greenwood.
It was a holding call there. So now Greenwood at the 10-yard line now. 11-yard line.
First and 20.
Needing 20 yards for a first down.
And that's not what Coach Campbell wants to see here. Going backwards on this drive. Got to get
Ball
some positive
snap.
momentum.
Quick throw over to the left side. Gets a nice little bit of yardage there. Caught by Pringle. And the Woodsmen starting to dive into their bag of tricks in the passing game.
Yeah, and Pringle's the guy we talked about earlier. He's kind of their speed guy on the outside. He's maybe not going to hit a long ball, if you will, just throw it up and he's going to get it. But he's the guy, you get it to him about 8 to 10 yards out, and he can make some plays with his speed. And I like how the Woodmen on there on first and long kind of went to the air right away. And when you look at the Plainfield defense, they're still lined up. Their deepest guy from the ball is 10 yards.
Riddle gives it to Burnett. Burnett with the short rush.
Burnett, the ball carrier.
Now Greenwood with a 3rd and 9. Ball spotted at the 23. Gain of 2 yards, sorry. So that'll be 3rd and 7 for Greenwood.
And even though Greenwood's kind of thrown it a couple times there, the Plainfield defense is still lining up. They don't think they can go over the top, right? So they still got a bunch of guys packed in that box. Now they go 4 wide. We haven't seen a lot of that. This is only the second or third time we've seen Greenwood go 4 wide tonight.
Yeah, wide receiver Titzer for Greenwood steps out of the game. And Brock Riddle here tries to scramble it as much as he can. It looks like it could have been a fumble.
Plainfield said they have it. I think the officials are going to say that he was maybe down.
So the ball at the 31-yard line.
I think after they're on the stop. 4th and 3.
You see that's a possession right there, John, where you were kind of stifled off the first play. That holding call pushes you back and doesn't give you the opportunity to kind of get any sort of momentum. So right away you're behind the chains.
Greenwood punts it away on a 4th and 3. Caught by Plainfield at the 40-yard line. Takes off on the left side. And he'll get tackled at the 47-yard line. And there's a fumble. Greenwood saying that they got it. A lot of boos here as the referees are going to keep the ball with Plainfield.
Pretty good coverage there. Gain of 6, 7, 8 yards maybe or whatever. But for Plainfield, I mean, this game's going as scripted if you're Coach Woodard, right? I know Greenwood's helped you a little bit with some penalties like that holding one that we just talked about, but Plainfield has dominated the time of possession. They're dominating up front with their offensive line, and you're just going to dial that up all night until Greenwood either finds a way to stop it or you just chew them up and you finish this game early.
Hunter Newell for the Quakers. Noah Hassong in the backfield. The ball is snapped, given off to Hassong on the left side. Tries to break a tackle. Gets a nice gain of about 7 yards. And Plainfield doing a really good job in the rushing game tonight.
Yeah, that one off left tackle, and that's kind of what we talked about. They're not really going to hit you, in the A gap or whatever. They're going to go off tackle. They're going to go outside, and that's where they've been punishing Greenwood on the defensive side of the ball.
Now Plainfield with a 2nd and 2. Up 14-0 with 7 minutes left in this ball game. Plainfield with the play action. Scrambles over the right side. A quick throw. A good play there. Chris Stevens kept his feet inbounds. Tried to get the catch, but just wasn't able to get it.
That was a pretty good play all the way around. Newell keeping the play alive. They got pressure and contain from the Greenwood defense, forcing him to the sideline. Newell put that ball about the only place his receiver was the only one that was going to come down with that. Stephen just unable to keep his toes in and haul that pass. That's some pretty good high school football right there.
3rd and 2 now for the Quakers. Let's see if the Greenwood defense can make another 3rd and out here. And they're going to run the ball with a song again, and that will be a 1st down for Plainfield.
Similar play to what we just saw on 1st down off the left side, enough for a 1st down. And if you're Plainfield, I know you just had the incomplete pass on 2nd down, but clock's moving. You're advancing the ball every time here with the offensive line. Sometimes if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. Just keep going to your bread and butter right now.
And as Plainfield continues to run the ball, they're tiring out this Greenwood defense.
Yeah,
they've been on the field a lot.
Good call, John. They've been on the field a ton here in this 1st half.
Noah Hassong again with the run. Plainfield looking to just keep running if they can continue to get these 1st downs.
The other thing about that, John, with Greenwood, they do have some guys that play both ways too. So, Campbell is the tight end. He's on the defensive line for Greenwood, and they've got a couple of offensive linemen that also play D-line for them. So not only are you tiring them out on this side of the ball, you're going to weaken that offensive side when they come back onto the field.
Plainfield here, 2nd and 8. Newell snaps the ball, steps back, looking in the center of the field, a big throw, caught by Grant Irwin, and a nice touchdown by Plainfield, breaks the tackle. Plainfield now up 20-0.
And Newell put that thing on a dime, and Grant Irwin comes down with it. Gorgeous pass and catch there. We talked about Irwin way early in the game. He's their big play guy outside. He had 2 catches for 90 yards against Perry Meridian last week. Both of them went for scores. There's another one, another deep ball from Newell to Irwin for a 6.
That was a great throw, Thad. Reminded me of last night with the Chargers, that last 2 minutes with Herbert to Williams on that 4th down play. Great throw, great catch.
Exactly. Newell is showing out tonight for Plainfield.
So now Plainfield makes the extra kick, now up 21-0 here on the road against the Greenwood Woodmen. So we'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back with kickoff here to resume the second quarter.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Plainfield here with their 3rd touchdown in the first half. 5 minutes, 29 seconds left as they kick the ball back to Greenwood. Greenwood struggling on offense tonight, trying what they can to get some points on the board. Has not been successful so far tonight on homecoming.
Yeah, John, just to go back for just a second, you said you mentioned their 3rd touchdown. Well, that's actually 3 consecutive touchdowns on 3 consecutive drives for Plainfield. Greenwood stopped them on their first offensive possession, and since then, the Plainfield offense has been clicking, putting a ton of pressure right now on Greenwood as a whole unit, but specifically the offense, because the offense has not gained a first down the last 3 times they've had the football.
That's a good point there, Thad. Greenwood now taking the ball on the 25-yard line here. Greenwood's tried a variety of things. They've tried to run the ball, which they have strength in. Like you said, Greenwood averaging 190 rushing yards per game. They've tried their short throws. Haven't quite tried some deeper throws, but let's see what Greenwood here does with the single back formation. And there's a big throw, Thad. And it's caught by Greenwood. What a throw. All I had to do, Thad, was speak it out into existence, and Greenwood makes it happen.
Just put it out there into the ether, John, and things will happen. You see, they went back to their traditional formation there. They had a fullback with a deep back, only 2 wide receivers, and they went classic play action. That's kind of an old NFL set, if you will. That's Peyton Manning right there, with the play action and throwing it deep to Marvin Harrison or Reggie Wayne.
And a big catch by Pringle and a nice run there by Burnett. And now Greenwood in the red zone, Thad.
Yeah, and not to put too much pressure on this one possession, but if you're Greenwood, you got to punch this in for 6 right here. Your offense, no matter what, you got to get 6 points here.
So Greenwood with a 2nd and 4, 15 yards away from the end zone. Riddle will snap the ball, look over to his right side, a high throw, but it is caught by Hamilton there.
And I got to tell you, that was a high ball, kind of left the wide receiver out to dry. That's a pretty good catch. When you go full extension knowing you're going to take a hit, that's big time. That's some guts out there. I can't do that, John. That's not me. I'm not taking that hit, all right?
So great catch there by Middleton, and that's a first down for Greenwood. Greenwood's going to run it up the middle with Burnett. Burnett tries to inch his way over to the left side. Does get a gain of some small yardage. 2nd and 9 now for Greenwood. And that'll be a 2nd and goal for Greenwood. With 4 minutes left in the second half, Greenwood trying to get some points here. Specifically a touchdown as they're down 21 points.
We've got Pringle out here wide out to the left, one-on-one. We'll see if they go that direction.
And he'll throw it out. Tried to throw it there to Campbell, the tight end.
Like a tight end screen. They want him to just kind of up fake like he's going to block and then kind of pull out. And I think the Greenwood sideline was wanting to hold on that. That's kind of that's a tough position for the official to make that, because when you're lined up on the line and you got your hand in the dirt, when you come up like that and you engage the defender, they think that you're going to be blocking, you know. So when that defender puts his hands on you, it's not necessarily pass interference or holding, because they're there to, you know, make that contact with you as if you're going to line up and try to block.
Greenwood, with a lot of discussions, they're actually going to take a timeout as the coaches come out on the field here, start talking with the referees and their players. We'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break during this timeout, and we'll be right back here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price.
Welcome back into beautiful Greenwood, Indiana, for Greenwood looking at a 3rd and 9 opportunity here with 3 minutes, 37 seconds, down by 21 points here on homecoming. Trying to find the paint here, but they're going to run it with Burnett. And Plainfield trying to tackle him down, but he's too sturdy. I'm a little surprised by that, Thad. I definitely thought a passing play was going to be coming out, but maybe Greenwood is saving that for the 4th down.
Yeah, I thought on 3rd and long, either they would put it in the air to the receiver, or maybe just like a screen pass out to the running back to get him out into some space. They haven't had a ton of luck straight up the middle, but here we go, 4th down, huge play.
4th down here, Riddle snaps, and it's a lob to the left side. Campbell with the catch. Great catch there by Campbell, tight end, the coach's son. What a play. We see that all the time, Thad, you know. You bring a tight end out who's much bigger than a defensive back, just leaps over him for that high catch, comes down, and a great touchdown by Greenwood.
Well, look, Campbell's probably their most athletic big guy on the entire roster. He's about 6'5". He plays defense, he plays offense, and you're right, John. Just put him out there, kind of just basketball it to him, right? We're just going to lob it up. Hey, young man, go up and get it, you know?
And they're going to go for the 2-point conversion, runs it right up the middle, and now Greenwood with 8 points to really solidify getting some points here on the board and cuts that deficit down to 13.
I love that call from Coach Campbell. On the season, they have not had a ton of success in the kicking game, either field goals or point afters. He says, hey, we're behind. We're going to go for 2. We're going to roll the dice early and try to get all that momentum that Plainfield back on our side to get the crowd back into it here before halftime. And now there's some time on the clock, not a ton, but if your defense can get a stop right here, you go to halftime with some momentum.
Absolutely. And now with that touchdown, we have a little bit of liveliness from the crowd here.
Got a little juice. We got a little juice.
Some little juice here from the homecoming crowd here. And hopefully this fires up their defense to try and force something here in these last 3 minutes. And now the Friday Night Lights have kicked on with 3 minutes left in this first half on this beautiful night.
I mean, knock on wood, but great weather for a football Friday night. You know, here mid-September, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely. Now Greenwood gets ready to kick the ball. And here's the go-ahead. And a little squib kick there. I almost called that out, Thad. I felt something in the air after that to try and keep the momentum, whether it was an onside kick. They tried it. They did give Plainfield some good field position, but But that hasn't really mattered too much for Plainfield tonight.
Right, yeah, you know, and the other thing that does, honestly, is that it negates any sort of return you're going to have. Wise play by Plainfield to just kind of fall on it, take possession where it is. You're at the 35, which is solid for them, right? But it negates a potential return. And then if you're Greenwood, hey, let's line it up. Maybe something happens, right? Maybe there is a kind of a fumbling of that squib, and you can jump on it.
So Plainfield will snap it, quick throw over to the right side, and a quick little run, defensive. Number 45 tries to bat the ball out. Good try there, but great arms by number 16 for Plainfield to not fumble the ball, and Troy Larison continues to get some nice rushing yards.
Yeah, I like that play call there from Plainfield. Kind of, you know that Greenwood's going to bring some aggressiveness after that touchdown. Just kind of toss it out, get some positive yards.
So now a scramble here by Newell over to the left side, gives a quick throw, and it's caught. That is Hayden Vanderbush, and that's going to be a first down for the Quakers.
And now if you're Plainfield, you're at midfield, you got plenty of time, just a little over 2 minutes here in the half. Take your time here, go get some points before the half. This is kind of a crucial period here, right here before halftime for both teams.
Absolutely, and Plainfield letting this clock tick. 2 minutes and counting. Up by 13 here at the 50-yard line. A little motion in the backfield by Larison, and a throw in the middle breaks the tackle, and is going all the way to the 10-yard line, gets tackled. Great play there by Greenwood to stop the score from happening, and a great throw by Newell, and a great catch.
I mean, that was, you know, just a kind of a quick in route there, 4 or 5 yard route, but he broke 3 tackles and then he was loose. I mean, a nice job from the Greenwood defender to hunt him down there inside the 10, but another big chunk play for Plainfield.
Clock continues to dwindle down here as Plainfield trying to eliminate Greenwood's opportunity here in the remainder of this first half. Greenwood with 1 timeout left, so they're going to save that. Plainfield with 2. Newell snaps the ball, runs over to the right side, throws it out as the pressure comes, and that's an incomplete pass. 2nd and 7 for Plainfield.
Yeah, nothing there. They were trying to get a receiver to come across the formation and cut over towards the corner. Not open, but a nice job by Newell there. Hold on to the ball, wait till the last second, and then finally get rid of it. Nice job by that quarterback.
So with that pressure by Greenwood and that ball thrown out, that will stop the clock. We have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. Plainfield again, 2nd and 7 on the 7-yard line. Newell snaps, gives a quick handoff, but Greenwood was ready for that, and that will be a gain of nothing.
Nice job there by the Greenwood front. We got a big push. We haven't seen that really from them tonight. That they've been kind of dominated by the Plainfield offensive line. That time they got the better of them. And the clock now under a minute here. Greenwood trying to hold firm.
Yeah, Plainfield definitely wanted to run the ball to continue to kill that clock as their kicker here warming up. Greenwood again with 1 timeout left. We'll see when they use that. It'll be most likely after this if they can make the big stop. So Newell snapped the ball, looks over to his right side, and it's caught by Isaiah Miller for another Quaker touchdown.
Gorgeous play design there by Plainfield. You know Greenwood's going to bunch it up in the middle. They're going to bring a lot of people. Play action. You've got one-on-one on the outside. Gorgeous route there by Miller. Just a nice little slant pattern, and boom, 6 more points.
So Plainfield here with 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns tonight. Getting ready for this extra kick to put them up by 20. Ball was snapped, and it's through the uprights. Now Plainfield up 20 points with 31 seconds left in this first half. We'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be right back to finish out this first half.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at...
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility.
Welcome back, everybody, to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net as Plainfield scores their 4th touchdown of the night, gets ready to kick it away to Greenwood. With 31 seconds left on the clock, we'll see what Greenwood has drawn up to try and get some extra points on the board before halftime.
See what Plainfield elects to do. They might try to squib like we saw Greenwood do. Nope, they're going to kick it deep.
Nice kick there, caught at the 10-yard line. Greenwood running. Wow, he's got an open field. The kicker makes the tackle there. Big kick and a big tackle by number 97 for Plainfield, Cameron Grimes. 5'9", 160 pounds, makes the tackle.
I mean, an absolutely huge play there from Grimes. And nice, this is what I was talking about. I thought they could potentially squib it to try to negate a big return. They get the big return, and then Grimes makes a huge play for Plainfield to stop what could have been the second touchdown for Greenwood.
I always love a good tackle by a kicker on the on those types of situations. I'll never forget the Pat McAfee boomstick
boomstick
scenario.
I mean, there's two plays in football that you love, right? You love a kicker making a tackle, and you love it when a big guy scores a touchdown, right?
Absolutely.
Like, those are the things you have to love.
So pressure there by Greenwood, makes a hurried throw, and it's caught by Greenwood. Pringle over to the left side, steps out, fumbles the ball.
They're going to say he was out of bounds before the fumble, John.
Wow. A lot of momentum here for Greenwood with 10 seconds left within the 10-yard line.
First down and goal.
And they still have that timeout, Thad, if they need it.
9 seconds. You've got enough time for at least 2 plays, 2 throws to the end zone here. And you're right, they do have a timeout, so they could throw it into the flat if they elected to, but I think they're going to try to put it in the air. They've got Campbell lined up here to the left again, one-on-one.
Riddle here with 2 in the backfield. Looks over to his left side, scrambles to the right, throws it out. And the Plainfield community doesn't think that was forward progress on that throw.
I think they're calling for a grounding penalty, but Riddle was pointing as if he's got, I think he had a running back in the area there that he just kind of threw it past him in an incomplete pass. I want to go back. I kind of missed this on that other play, but that was an unbelievable job by Riddle, the quarterback, to kind of get out of that would-be sack and then throw it deep and complete it to Pringle.
Absolutely.
Really nice play. And now, under 5 seconds to go here in the half. This is going to be their last chance to kind of punch this one in.
So Greenwood will go for it. They will not kick for 3. They're going to try and go for 7 or 8. So we see Campbell out there again. They're going to do the same play. Campbell tries to go for the one-handed catch. And that's going to be incomplete, but they have 1/10 of a second left on the clock.
I got to tell you, the last 2 minutes of this half has been a little bit bonkers, John. I'm going to need a halftime here in a second. 1/10 of a second left? I mean, the odds of that are astronomical at this point.
Wow. So
they're going to dial up the exact same formation here.
They're going to try it again. Campbell out there in the slot. 1/10 of a second. Greenwood snaps again over the right side. Way overthrown. That's going to be an incomplete pass. Greenwood's not going to score, and we're going to go into halftime. Plainfield up 28-8 here on the road against Greenwood, who is currently having homecoming.
Pretty good stand there by Plainfield defensively. They had the long return on the kickoff. They had the big play to Pringle down the sideline. They had 3 shots there at the end zone with under 10 seconds to go. And the Plainfield defense stands firm. And really a great job out there by Miller. They basically had Miller one-on-one with Campbell, and he won that battle.
So with halftime here, again, Plainfield up 28-8. We'll go ahead and take a quick 3-minute break, and when we return, we'll go over some scores around the state as well as stats for today's game. So stay tuned here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, and we'll be back soon.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot, right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot, right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Greenwood High School, where the Greenwood Woodmen taking on the Plainfield Quakers. Greenwood currently down 8-28. As here at homecoming, they are currently announcing all of the various homecoming king and queens, from teachers to freshmen to every grade in between. And a lot of hype over here by Greenwood. So going over some scores from around the state, Ben Davis currently down 14-21 against Warren Central in the second quarter. Zionsville up 23-7 against Noblesville at halftime. Mooresville down 9-17 against Decatur Central, and that's in the second quarter. Columbus North down 13-21 against Bishop Chittard in the second quarter. Franklin Central up 24-14 against Avon in the second quarter. Roncalli up 42-7 against Gearin Catholic in the second quarter. Beech Grove up 19-6 against Southport in the second quarter. Monrovia down 3-14 against Speedway at halftime. Perry Meridian down 8-26 against Whiteland in the second quarter. Brownsburg up 21-14 against Fishers in the second quarter. Carmel up 17-0 against Lawrence North at halftime. Lutheran up 16-12 against Cascade in the second quarter. And lastly, Center Grove up 7-0 against North Central, and that game also in the second quarter. So moving into tonight's game, we've seen a lot of offense on the Plainfield side, but we've seen Greenwood kind of pick up their offense here late in the game, Thad.
Yeah, for Plainfield, let's start with them. We talked about it a lot in that first half, how their running game has kind of dictated this. They've got 188 yards on the ground in the first half tonight. That's 46 yards more than their season average per game. So the Plainfield, the Quakers up front, those big guys are doing some work. But for Greenwood, they did get that offense kind of rolling there late. It was in the air. Ethan Pringle's got 4 catches, 96 yards through the air for him. So they finally got that going. We saw Carter Campbell with the touchdown catch. They tried to go to him again late there in the first half. Now for Greenwood in the second half, you've got a big mountain to climb. You're down by 20. You're going to need 3 scores. What's that going to take, right? 1, you're going to have to make some big plays in the air. Okay, we've seen Pringle and Riddle be able to connect on that. We've seen Campbell be able to go up and make some plays. 2, you got to get some stops defensively. We've seen Plainfield have a drive of 93 yards. They've had a drive of 81 yards. They've had a drive of 65 yards. They've shown the ability to march down the field. You got to do something defensively to get that ball back to your offense and try to let Riddle and the boys cook a little bit in the second half.
And we talked earlier, Thad, about Greenwood and their rushing game, averaging 190 yards per game this season. They only have 23 yards off of 12 attempts.
I mean, we talked about it earlier. We thought this game was going to be dictated by the lines up front in the trenches, right, as they always say. And Greenwood has not really done anything with that, with the ball up front and running it against the Plainfield offense. The bigs, we'll call them the big guys, the big beautifuls, as I was talking about earlier. The big beautifuls for Plainfield on the defensive line and on the offensive line have done the work. We talked about the defensive front 7 for Plainfield early in that first quarter. But coming into tonight, 15 tackles for loss, 5.5 sacks. They're living up to it, that front 7. Greenwood's got to find a way, and I think, honestly, I know that this is not really their MO. They're going to have to pass the football in the second half.
Yeah, and Plainfield doing a great job of conversions. I mean, from a third down conversion standpoint, they're 2 of 4. They haven't even had a 4th down conversion opportunity. They've been able to score off the red zone 3 for 3. Greenwood really needs to make some stops when it comes to those red zone opportunities. And in retrospect, Greenwood, from a third down conversion standpoint, 0 for 7, just not making anything happen. But from a 4th down perspective, they're 2 for 2.
Yeah, 0 for 7, that's not great, right? Those are kind of the money downs, if you will, 3rd and 4th down. 0 for 7, but if you combine them, you say, hey, they're 2 for 9. Well, that's great, but if you're 0 for 7, we've seen it a couple of times where they've had 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 4, but it's on their side of the field, and then when you're not unable to convert, that's a punt. You're going to go for it when you're on positive yardage, right? But you've got to get yourself in position to go for it on 4th down, and they haven't been able to do that very much.
Absolutely. And like we said, Greenwood really starting to kick it up a notch with that passing game, making some deeper throws. That's what's been working most for them. So we'll see what kind of adjustments they make in the second half defensively to try and stop Plainfield from advancing on this field with such ease, but also trying to get their offense in motion to try and get back into this game on homecoming.
Yeah, I think Riddle's got to make some plays back there at quarterback, and unfortunately for Greenwood, I think you're going to have to go away from Burnett for the time being, right? You got to get some quick scores in this third quarter. Then, if you get this to about, a 7 or 8 point game, then you can lean on Burnett again to make some plays on the ground. But early in this third quarter, they're really going to have to attack through the air.
And last but not least, from a special teams perspective, from a kickoff, from a yardage perspective, Greenwood off of punts has been able to gather 81 yards off of 3 punts, while Plainfield has not been able to do much from that perspective. Off of their punts, they've had 2, and they've only had 9 yards, and off that kick return, they've only had 20. So definitely a strength there from Greenwood to be able to get that extra yardage from their kickoffs.
Yeah, I would say that they won the special teams battle there in the first half. We saw a couple of early punts. One was down inside the 10, the other down inside the 20. You're thinking, hey, they flipped field position. Well, what did Plainfield do with that field position? They marched down and scored some touchdowns. So it didn't really matter. But the Greenwood special teams has played exceptionally well. I do want to commend, before we wrap up kind of our halftime, the play of quarterback Newell for Plainfield. He's been really solid back there tonight. He's He's made some big throws, and he's got over 50 yards rushing the ball as well. So when things have kind of broken down or he sees an opening, he's taking advantage of it. He's done a great job tonight for the Quakes.
Absolutely. So we will go ahead and that'll conclude our halftime show. We'll go back to taking some breaks here during this halftime performance, and we'll be right back with the second half here at Greenwood High School.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back, everybody, to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, Genesis Sports Training, Performance Training, Indianapolis area grade, and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com. So both teams will run out here and start some stretches. We had about 20 minutes during that halftime break. Greenwood, their band came out and did a wonderful halftime show during homecoming here. The crowd getting some snacks, using the restroom, trying to get themselves ready, and hoping Greenwood makes a big comeback here, down 20 points against a tough Plainfield Quaker team.
Yeah, a little longer than normal halftime here with the homecoming festivities. A big shout out to the marching woodmen out there. I was telling you guys during the break, I think they've won like 15 or 16 state championships. So, you know, they've got the music program dialed in a little bit here, but. To start out in the second half here, John, Greenwood's going to receive the kickoff here, and this is an immensely huge, important possession for them. We saw them finally drive the ball in that second quarter. They came up a little bit short on that final drive, but on this first drive of the second half, they've got to find some points. They got to get points somehow.
I agree, Thad. Definitely momentum their way to be able to get this kickoff down 20 points, to try and get some extra points on the board and make some big stops and try and close that gap a little bit. They did make that extra point conversion earlier to get themselves 8. I suspect we'll probably see that more, especially with Coach Campbell's strategy here, trying to throw Plainfield off a little bit. He definitely tried at the beginning. Plainfield was ready, but maybe we'll see some more of that from Greenwood here in the second half after a nice discussion with Coach in that locker room.
Yeah, you know, a lot of times in high school football, there are not like a ton of adjustments, if you will, at halftime. You kind of just stick with like your normal MO. I'm curious to see. We saw Coach Campbell kind of roll the dice a little bit in that second quarter. I'm interested to see if they went in at halftime and decided they were going to throw some wrinkles at Plainfield here in this second half. You know, maybe not something that they've seen before this season. We haven't seen them really use any screen passes tonight. Or maybe there's some trickeration with some reverses, maybe a flea flicker. We haven't seen any of that. You know, I think on this night for Greenwood, I think they pull out kind of all of the stops here to try to get back into this football game.
The Greenwood student section is shooting some water guns or something there, Thad. Trying to get the crowd into it here as time expires and we're getting ready for kickoff. Greenwood lines up for the return here. And I'm thinking tonight must be a whiteout sort of homecoming. All of the student section there wearing white t-shirts.
Yeah, I agree. They got a little white theme over there, which is cool. I want to see here what Plainfield does on this kickoff too. We saw the big return there, right there before the half, that kind of set up Greenwood, or at least put them into scoring position, if you will. So we're interested to see if Plainfield goes to a squib or they go ahead and kick it deep again.
So Plainfield lines up to kick here to get the second half underway. Currently up 20 points. And a nice kick here by Plainfield. Returned at the 10-yard line. And tries to get past the defender, fumbles it, and it's picked up by Plainfield. Not the start Greenwood wanted to see there, Thad.
Just the opposite of what we talked about, John. We talked about them getting the ball, trying to make them pay on the offensive end and getting some points here to start the half. There they give it up, and Plainfield in prime position here. I think they're going to have the ball at the 35 to start 1st and 10, and a real chance here, honestly, John. Quakers could put this game away here early with a score.
Very unfortunate situation there. Looked like all he had to do was break that tackle or get past that defender. He definitely had some extra yardage there. Was maybe thinking ahead to that point and not securing the ball. So very unfortunate for Greenwood, as that momentum going into the second half has kind of been diminished here. As Plainfield snaps the ball, and they'll run it up the middle with Troy Larison, who's been hot tonight with the ground game.
The other thing for Plainfield, for Coach Woodard, we'll see how risky, I guess I would say, they want to be here offensively. They might just try to stick with a ground and pound here approach, let that clock bleed, time of possession, control the field, control the clock. I don't expect them to put the ball up into the air too much here in the third quarter unless they're pressed. Now they go with a little bit of a trick play as Noah went out in motion.
Noah Hessong takes a direct snap, follows the blocks, gets a nice gain of about 12 yards, and that's a first down for Plainfield.
Well, we talked about seeing some wrinkles from Greenwood. Now we're seeing some wrinkles from Plainfield here to start the third quarter. The other thing about that first down, John, I know it's early, but that clock is running, and if you're Greenwood, that is a big enemy of yours.
It sure is. And Greenwood needs to avoid getting down by 35, as ISHAA did implement a mercy rule as of this year. Any team down by 35 will accrue a running clock.
Missed tackle on the outside, a wide receiver screening, and Wolf is into the end zone.
And that's a touchdown by Caden Vanderbush for Plainfield. Didn't have much of a struggle there by Greenwood, and now Plainfield up 34 points here before the extra kick, but 5 touchdowns here for Plainfield tonight, 3 on the run, 2 in the air.
And man, that was a quick strike, right? We saw the fumble obviously gives it right to Plainfield, and what do? They attack and they score. Great job by the Quaker offense.
Plainfield lines up for this kick here. And that'll be through the uprights, and now Plainfield will be up 35-8 here at the start of the second half. And that drive only, with the fumble, all in all, it only took 1 minute and 20 seconds for Plainfield to put an extra 7 on the board.
Man, we were kind of thinking, hey, maybe Greenwood's offense could score quick here to start the third. The exact opposite. Flip the script, if you will. Plainfield forces the fumble on the return, punch it in, and now in total control of this game.
And unfortunate for quarterback Brock Riddle, who didn't even have an opportunity there, as that fumble was off the kick return. So we'll see what kind of situation Greenwood does here. Do they go for the touchback? Do they play it conservatively and just get down at the 20 or so? We'll see what Greenwood has up their sleeve here. As we did talk at halftime, Greenwood has done a great job with their punt returns and kick returns, except that to start the second half, that fumble.
Yeah, it's hard. You can't just say shake it off, because that's kind of not an ideal shake it off moment where you give up 7 points just like that. Well, you got to rebound pretty quick. It's the Ted Lasso, right? You got to be a goldfish. You got to forget about things every 15 seconds or whatever. Like you got to make a play here if you're Greenwood.
So Greenwood catches the ball at the 1 yard line, makes it to about the 15. I would have just let that ball go out in the end zone, Ted.
Yeah, that's a tough decision there by that young man. I agree with you, John. I think you let that bounce into the end zone and take the touchback. I know you're trying to make a play, maybe try to redeem yourself from the last kickoff, but sometimes you just got to play it safe. Let that bounce into the end zone and let your offense start from the 25.
So Plainfield up 27 points here. Greenwood takes the snap, runs the left side, has some nice motion, a big tackle there by Plainfield, number 12. And that will be
3 seconds, 7.
I'm not able to find who that was, but a great tackle there by Plainfield. And now it's 2nd and 7 here for Greenwood. So Greenwood will run the ball again, but now there's a flag on the play.
And that's right in the area where you expect that to be a holding call, right there in the middle of the line.
Very rough start here for Greenwood. Only 2 minutes and 10 seconds into this game, and they fumbled the ball on the kickoff. They've allowed a touchdown, and now to start their first drive here in the second half, they get a flag.
And that actually went against Plainfield. And I didn't see the actual call there from the official, but that put Greenwood with about a 2nd and 2 here.
So it looks like it was a hold on Plainfield then. So it is in favor of Greenwood. So a good start to their first drive with that flag. Hopefully that gives them a little bit of momentum to try and push this ball up the field as they give the ball to Burnett. And he gets a short yardage there.
First down,
like we talked about, John, that running the football is what Greenwood wants to do offensively. That's kind of what they want to do night in and night out. I'm interested here. We've seen a couple of runs. I wonder if they're going to try to bait Plainfield a little bit and try to hit them with some play action.
So Greenwood with that first down. Tries the trick handoff there over to the left side, but runs it up the middle and gets stopped immediately by Plainfield. Burnett tries to get a little bit of yardage, and that will be a gain of 2 yards. Now 2nd and 8 here for the Woodmen.
We haven't seen this formation too often tonight. 2 wide receivers to each side.
Riddle takes the snap, immediately looks over to the left side. A nice catch there by Hasig. And gets them a nice gain. Just short of the first down. And that'll be a 3rd down here for Greenwood, which we spoke about earlier, Thad. They have yet to convert a 3rd down.
Yeah, let's see, maybe 1 for 8 here, I don't know. They've been 0 for 7 so far.
3rd and 2. Very short to get that first down. Let's see if the Woodmen can pull it off here as the clock continues to dwindle, and now 8 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Riddle takes the snap, hands it off up the middle to Burnett. Gets that yardage plus some, and that'll be a first down and their first 3rd down conversion here for Greenwood.
Nice job here for the Woodmen. One thing that we haven't really talked about so far, I know we just got out of halftime, but that defense in that first half had been on the field a lot. You rush them right back out there, they score again on whatever 4 snaps I think it was for that touchdown. Just getting some first downs, obviously, to give that defense a rest is important. But obviously, for Greenwood, you got to get some points, and you got to get some points in a hurry. You can be methodical on this drive and score, but then after that, you really got to pick up the tempo.
Riddle looks over the left side, and he gets tipped by a defender. Little action here on the field. Number 8, a little heated up there for Plainfield. Referee walking towards them, telling them to calm down a little bit.
I got to tell you, Campbell, the tight end for Greenwood, took a shot on that. When that ball was tipped, he was up in the air and he was exposed, and the safety, number 12 for Plainfield, came in and delivered a blow right to the midsection.
So Greenwood here with the single back formation. Burnett next to him. Gives the ball directly to Burnett. A run there, breaks the tackle, has a little bit of open field. Gets tackled by 4 Plainfield defenders, but a nice run by Greenwood. A gain of 30 yards, and that'll be a first down.
Nice run there by Burnett off the left side. Really good push there from the offensive line. Honestly, a nice job of recovery there by the Plainfield defense as they kind of group tackled him even though he was 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. Can't let a home run go if you're Plainfield, right? Like, just, you know, you don't want to do this necessarily, but just play some solid defense. You can give up some yardage, you just don't want to give up points.
From the 36-yard line, another run by Burnett. And he'll go left side, just short of the first down. Maybe he got it. The marker got knocked down by Burnett, and it is a first down. A nice run again by Burnett. And now we're seeing some momentum by that Greenwood rushing offense that we talked about earlier. 190 yards averaging per game, and they only had about 21 yards in that first half.
Yeah, and 2 times in a row off the left side. Maybe they found something over there that they like matchup-wise. But yeah, we had not seen that in the first half, so good to see the Woodman running game kind of get after it here.
Burnett again with the handoff, and he gets pulled down by a defender. He was there ready for him, and that'll be a loss of a few yards for Greenwood.
That was Mascalier again coming in from his position, number 59. He's the leading tackler on the team for Plainfield. Very, very active for this Quaker defense.
That'll be a loss of 1 yard for Greenwood, setting themselves up for a 2nd and 11 here on the 26-yard line. Has been very dominant with the run here on this drive. Now Riddle gets ready for the snap. He takes it and gives it to Burnett again. They're trying to keep the momentum going, but Plainfield is now ready for this rush, and that'll be another loss of maybe 1 yard, and now a 3rd down for Greenwood after those 2 runs that were stopped short.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to signify one guy that was in on that one for Plainfield. They had 4 or 5 guys that were ready for that. Big play here, and honestly, if you're Greenwood, where you're at, you know, inside the 30, this is 4-down territory, probably regardless of what you do here on 3rd down.
So now we see a different formation here. A little bit more blocking on the left side here for Greenwood. Fakes the little pass there. Play action, throws the ball into the end zone to Pringle. Pringle just wasn't quite ready for it. And now a 4th and 11 here for Greenwood, and they will stay out on the field because they're down 27 points with 5 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. They got to do something to get back in this.
Yeah, you know, it's getting late early, if you will, if you're Greenwood. And right here, you know, 4th and 10, 4th and 11, whatever it is, you got to dial up your best pass play. Whatever is the most successful play you've had all season, you got to call it right here.
And I suspect we'll see Campbell. And he looks over to the right side, feels the pressure there, and a big sack by Plainfield. And that'll be a turnover on downs. And Plainfield will take the ball at the 26-yard line and take it the other direction.
That's Landon Drennan in on that hit. And honestly, Riddle didn't even have a chance to get rid of that football. He was in the backfield so quick that the receivers didn't have time to finish their routes. That's tough for Greenwood. You had some positive gains, a couple of chunk yardage plays from Burnett in the running attack. You come up with nothing there, and now Plainfield in control. 5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter with the ball. Huge lead. Quakers in a great position.
So now Plainfield here will play action and will scramble. Nice little juke there, and will step out. He thought about throwing it for a second there. It looked like it was going to be a deep throw, but decided to scramble and pick up a few yards.
Pretty good defensive job there by Scotty Raker, 34 for Greenwood, the linebacker. He did a nice job. I know Newell got positive yardage there, but he was kind of the shadow out there. Once Newell kind of got out of the pocket, he did a nice job of containment, if you will, on the edge.
So Hunter Newell here for Plainfield with Troy Larison in the backfield. Will take the snap. And not Larison, sorry, that will be Noah Hassam. And he will get maybe a yard. And now Plainfield looking at a 3rd and 4.
Now for the Woodmen, 3rd and 4, you're kind of in a tricky spot here. Do you bring the house? Do you try to play coverage here? I suspect, with Newell's athleticism that we've seen, he's going to put it in the air, but do you try to just bring as much pressure as you can, or do you try to defend the pass?
Newell with the snap, scrambles over to the left side. And wow, he'll continue to go and pick up that extra yardage. Kind of threw off the defense, didn't know if he was going to throw or run, and a nice pickup for a 1st down.
Great job there by Newell on the outside. Just basically like a basketball hesitation move out there in the open field. And the other thing, he had 3 offensive players out there blocking against 2 defensive players. The hesitation got enough time. He was able to sneak around the blockers and gain up a lot of yardage there. He did go out of bounds, but honestly, for Plainfield, it doesn't really matter. Just retain possession, keep that clock going.
So now Plainfield here. And they'll run the ball up the middle, and that will be Antonio Williams, who scored a touchdown earlier today on the run.
Nice job there by the Greenwood defense. And John, right now, you don't want to gamble too much defensively, but right now, if you get the opportunity like that, you got to go for the ball, right? You go for a strip, go for a big hit. Now, don't be risky, like I said, and give up a big play because you're going for the turnover, but if you stand a guy up, try to punch that football out.
Plainfield taking their time here as the clock dwindles. 8 seconds left on this play clock. They're still in huddle. I don't think they're going to get a playoff here, Thad. And that's going to be a timeout by Plainfield. They had about 2 seconds left, weren't even in formation, so that makes sense. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a quick 30-second break during this media timeout, and we'll be right back with some more football here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot. Right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy. Or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis.
Welcome back to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Plainfield here, snaps the ball, gives it. Wow, nice little strong run there by Troy Larison. Tried to run laterally to get some open field, but Greenwood was ready for Larison there.
Yeah, nice job there, kind of stringing that one out. The linebackers are in there. Raker, Basie's going to get credit for the tackle right there, but a nice defensive job there in the flow. Nowhere for Larison to go.
Now Plainfield looking at a 3rd down here and 7. Single back formation here. And they'll give the ball off to Noah Hassam. Noah Hassam with the open field, and he'll run, and he'll get knocked out. He might have stepped out of bounds earlier. The ball landed at the 7-yard line, but he might have stepped out. The referee is going to spot it at the 15-yard line, and a great run by Noah Hassan.
He got hit, John, at the line of scrimmage. He was dead to rights, and bam, spins right off of it, and it was smooth sailing down that right sideline until he got hit 20, 30 yards downfield.
Great run by Noah Hassan, who just has some great acceleration. Once he finds that open field, he's just able to hit those afterburners and pick up that extra yardage.
We talked about it early, John, but they've got multiple guys they can put in the backfield that are productive back there.
And there's Antonio Williams with the broken tackle. No word yet. And that's just going to be short, and they're going to spot that at the 1-yard line. And a first and goal here for Plainfield now, with 3 minutes left in this third quarter. Plainfield has just been able to keep that momentum with the rush and putting Greenwood in a bad spot as that clock continues to dwindle, and Greenwood has nothing to answer for it. And they'll go ahead and do a QB sneak and get the touchdown there. And now Plainfield, with their 6th touchdown of the night, up by 33 points. So Plainfield, we'll see if they go for 1 extra point and if they go for 2. And if they convert 2, that will implement the ISHA mercy roll.
And it looks like they will go for the conversion here, John.
They're going to go for it. They're ready to go back home, apparently.
Long trek back over.
It is a long bus ride back to Plainfield.
Back to Hendricks County over there.
I understand there's some very important TikTok videos that need to be watched.
All right, so Plainfield here sets up for the 2-point conversion. And they're going to take a snap to the right side, a diving catch, and that's a touchdown, or an extra sorry, not a touchdown. I'm used to saying that tonight. It is a 2-point conversion here by Plainfield. The second of tonight. Greenwood did score a 2-point conversion earlier, and now the Quakers with their first 2-point conversion. And that will be a 35-point lead, which does implement the ISHA mercy rule. And now we will have a running clock unless Greenwood can put some extra points back on the board.
Yeah, let's go back to that 2-point conversion for just a second. I've been really impressed with Newell, the quarterback for Plainfield tonight. Big, athletic kid. And what they like to do, and I love this, they just get him out on the edge, right? Give him some options, right? He can run it, he can pass it. He had 2 receivers running through at different depths in the end zone, right? Just pick which one out you want, or if neither of them are open, try to run for it yourself. I love the way that they designed that play.
Absolutely. So now Plainfield gets ready to kick the ball off here.
We still have a MasterCard debit card up here, a way to go card. There's a huge post-game pizza party being planned by everybody in the press box.
Nice comedy touch there by the PA. Somebody missing their MasterCard. Sounds like the press box might have a pizza party if someone doesn't get it.
I hope we're invited to that.
And I hope the student section is too during homecoming, as it's not been a good game for them here on homecoming. So Greenwood will catch that and take it out at about the 30-yard line. And that running clock has now been implemented.
And now if you're Coach Campbell, what you're going to tell your guys, if you're Greenwood, right? Like, hey, guys, let's not worry about it. Let's go execute on this drive. Let's focus on this one drive. You know, let's make this a positive drive, and let's go get some points. We're not going to worry about the scoreboard right now. We're only going to focus on this drive, you know, first downs at a time.
And if I was Coach Campbell, I'd go back to those deep throws, Thad. I mean, that's what worked out for them in that first half. Had 2 big opportunities. You know, they took their first one down with that passing opportunity, did score that touchdown, but the second drive, just before the first half concluded, they made it all the way downfield in the red zone, but just weren't able to convert. But it has honestly been the strong suit for Greenwood tonight, was their deep passing game.
It has been. That one, a nice little short little out route to the sideline to Middleton. Nice job there by by Riddle. I'm with you, John. You know, you got nothing to lose here. Let's see if we can dial up that passing attack. There's a lot of season left after tonight, right? Like the season doesn't end tonight, even though you're in the jaws of defeat, if you will, by Plainfield. But you know, this is not just necessarily the one night that you're working for, right? You've got 4 conference games left after this here in the Mid-State, and then you've got tournament play, right? And Greenwood, a 4A classification here in Indiana, and tough draw. They've got some good squads in their sectional. East Central comes to mind. They're always a powerhouse in 4A, but you've got some time to work on some things and then try to make some hay once you get to the postseason, once you get to October.
So Riddle tried to throw it to Burnett. Burnett just wasn't able to get that catch. And now on this play, Riddle's going to get sacked. He's going to get sacked hard. He's okay, but there is a flag on the play.
That was Mascalier again, 59 in on the head, and I'm not sure if that was potentially a face mask that came in on that.
Riddle talking to Coach Campbell. Again, got slammed hard, but he is okay. He's standing.
Was a face mask call there. That should be a 15-yarder.
It is, and that's going to go against Plainfield. Now Greenwood will make their way up to about the 40-yard line as this clock dwindles down, and that will conclude the third quarter. So the ref will blow his whistle. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take a quick 1-minute media timeout as they get ready, as they switch sides on the field, and we'll be right back here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Genesis Sports Performance Training, Indianapolis area grade and high school athletes and adult strength training. Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
We'll start in the fourth quarter here, John. Kind of like, same principles of what we talked about on this drive. You cannot focus on the score. You got to just focus on just executing on this drive. You got a little help there on the sack that basically wasn't a sack when the 15-yard face mask penalty comes in. And so if you're Greenwood, Riddle the quarterback, I'm still a believer. Let's test out this passing game. Let's see what we can get rolling and see what we can take into next week.
I agree. You got nothing to lose. You take this opportunity as kind of like a practice, right? You want to make some throws like that, a good throw there to Campbell, the tight end, for a nice gain of 8 yards. That'll be 2 yards short of the first down. But you got nothing to lose. Try some new plays. Try some things that work against a very good Plainfield defense, and try to develop something and practice it kind of in a real-time scrimmage scenario with what's going on tonight, down by 35 points with 11 minutes left in this game. Tough for Greenwood to come back, but now we're starting to see a little more passing game here in this fourth quarter.
Riddle under all kinds of pressure.
Riddle with a big throw, and that's intercepted by Plainfield. Riddle on the move, felt the pressure, kind of threw off of his back foot, just wasn't able to get as much velocity as he intended to. Kind of threw it short. Defender came in and got that catch. And that's going to be a turnover again for Greenwood.
Yeah, Riddle under all kinds of pressure back there. They were trying to go to the passing attack again. He had 2 Plainfield defenders in his face, and he just kind of threw that one in the direction of where some receivers were. And a nice job by the Plainfield defense. And you know, I bet Coach Woodard, we were talking about what Coach Campbell told his guys to focus on executing on that drive. I bet Coach Woodard talked to his guys on the sideline there at the beginning of the fourth quarter and was like, I don't want these guys scoring another point.
And that's a botched snap by Plainfield. That's going to be a big loss. And now they're going to be at the 5-yard line. And this is going to go in favor of Greenwood here. Maybe they can make a big stop, maybe possibly a safety. But Plainfield has had their backs against the end zone previously on that 92-yard drive in the beginning of the game for that touchdown. Let's see if they can do it again, Thad.
Yeah, it looks like they got now 2nd and 22 for the Quakers. And maybe Coach Woodard and the boys, they can just view this as a challenge, right? Let's go see if we can march this down the field and chew up the rest of the clock.
And Plainfield will snap the ball and give a little toss to the running back. He'll run for a few yards, but Plainfield looking at a 3rd and 22 here, a little tough situation. We'll see if they make a big throw here.
Yeah, kind of interesting here. What's Plainfield want to do? Obviously, they want to retain possession of the ball because that clock's going to keep running. But do you put it in the air? Do you keep it on the ground?
I think you make a big throw here. You're up 35 points with the running clock.
Going to go back to their option.
He's going to scramble over to the left. Kind of tosses the ball, I guess that can't be considered grounding since he had 2 players by him. I've never seen something like that before, but...
Yeah, I mean, he's outside of the tackle box. There was a flag, and I'm not sure who that was on. I missed the official's signal there. That was way over by where the ball was snapped.
Referees are going to discuss it. Possibly could be on Plainfield here. Either way, it's going to be a 4th down, whether they're kicking from the 5-yard line or the 1-yard line. Either way, Plainfield kicking out of their end zone. An opportunity here for the Woodmen to possibly block the punt, score a touchdown, tackle for safety, maybe off a botched snap from earlier. Let's see what happens here. We did see at the Beech Grove-Cecina game last week, Beech Grove threw their snap out of bounds and gave Beech Grove an easy safety. And he gets that kickoff. That's going to roll out at the 31-yard line and gives Greenwood nice field position. As the clock continues to dwindle with that running clock due to the ISHA mercy rule of 35 points.
Yeah, approaching 7 minutes here, probably about when they snap, it'll be under 7 minutes. And, you know, I think you got to go back to it. You know, Greenwood's just going to try to get some positive momentum going into next week. I think Plainfield's going to be like, we don't want these guys to score again. So I think the defense is going to rise up here and try to get a stop. For Plainfield, too, John, we haven't really mentioned it. Coming up a road win last week, get a road win this week, the first 2 wins of the season. Now you got some momentum going into the back half of the schedule. Who knows what can happen for the Quakers?
And in retrospect, Chad, that Greenwood on a 3-game losing streak and now looking at a 4-game losing streak, which is tough to come back from when you're kind of in that funk. They started off with that win. Now they're looking at 4 losses. And like you said, Plainfield started off with 3 losses against 3 tough teams. Greenfield losing by 2, Harrison up in Lafayette. That was quite a road trip for them. Lost by 8 points on that one. And then a very tough Mooresville team. They lost 38-7. And that same Mooresville team beat Greenwood 42-14. Very tough school in their conference.
Yeah, Mooresville, one of the highest ranked teams in 4A. They got Coach Gillen over there. He knows how to win some games in Indiana high school football. Incomplete pass there, but you know, Mooresville, Decatur Central, Whiteland, you know, you've got some, Martinsville this year has played well, so you've got some really good teams in the Mid-State Conference. You know, I fully expect Whiteland in 5A and Mooresville in 4A to make some pretty deep runs. You know, I think both of them will be playing into November. Now, I'm not guaranteeing they make it to Lucas Oil, but I think both those squads are sectional champions and possible regional champions. And so the Mid-State is very, very competitive. And, you know, they don't have those 6A schools, you know, that take a lot of the attention around the state.
Greenwood scrambles, big throw down the middle. That's going to be a passing interference call. And that was to Pringle. He had two receivers there. He didn't know who was going to catch that ball, but nonetheless, looks like we had a little bit of interference here.
Yeah, and that's the second time we've seen two receivers in the same area on a pass, so it looked like someone did not run the correct route. And I got to tell you, John, I know that there was some contact back there in the defensive backfield, but it almost looked like the two offensive players hit each other, and that was what caused Pringle to kind of lose his footing there instead of one of the defensive players coming in to hit him.
Looks like Plainfield quarterback Chris Stevens warming up. Might have a little bit of playing time here if Plainfield can get the ball back. And a nice little scramble here, but Thad, I don't know if I would be putting my starting quarterback in that situation, be scrambling the ball and risking injury.
Yeah, not much time left. I think I'd rather him be in the pocket trying to get some yardage through the air with his right arm right now. Yeah, I think right now, I looked over at the sideline. I think the Plainfield the Plainfield coaches are kind of challenging their team to try to keep them out of the end zone.
Riddle with a nice throw there, bounced right off of his receiver's hands. Unfortunate there. Intended for number 28 on Greenwood. It's going to be Hasig. And just nothing clicking for Greenwood in this second half. Big throw there out to Campbell. Campbell catches it. Gets a little bit of yard, but now we're looking at a 4th and 4 here with 3 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, shout out there. I think that was Gavin Henry for Plainfield on the head. I mean, Campbell is a big dude out there. He's a load, and that was a nice job of wrapping him up and taking him down right where the catch was made.
Yeah, absolutely, Thad. Carter Campbell, senior, 6'5", 250 pounds. That's a nice size for a tight end.
Yeah, that's a dude right there, you know what I mean? He's one of those guys, when he walks off the bus, you're like, oh, okay, all right. What's that? What do they call it? That's like all parking lot first team. You know what I mean? Like, he just looks intimidating when he gets off the bus. You're like, all right, this guy's, he's going to be a monster tonight. You know, just by his physical presence. And he's played well tonight.
And you look at him and think, oh, maybe that's an offensive lineman. No, he's on the offensive side catching balls.
Yeah, and he had a great touchdown grab earlier in the game in the back corner of the end zone. Nice job by Riddle throwing it up to him there. That was kind of when Greenwood was making their run there at in the second quarter.
It's the only touchdown of the night for the Woodmen.
You want to look back, and you look back at plays of the game that could change the direction of how the result of the game ends up. And you go back to when Greenwood had that huge return on the kickoff, and they had it inside the 10 with 3 chances with under 10 seconds to go and came up with no points. That was like, when you look back at the momentum that they had or potentially had going into halftime, I'm not going to say that would have won or lost them the game, but that puts them in position to be right back into the game. They come up short, they don't get any points, and then you come out for the second half and you fumble the kickoff and Plainfield scores 5 snaps later. The game's basically over at that point.
Yeah, and we talked about how important that momentum is. And in that first half, we saw a glimpse of hope. They weren't able to convert that red zone opportunity to end the first half, but they did receive the ball. We thought that maybe they could coordinate something, but that fumble right off the bat just kind of set the tone for this second half. So now with this running clock and 2 minutes left, we're starting to see some people exit the stadium here, except the student section of Greenwood, because they are committed here on homecoming.
Big shout out to those kids, right? They're here to support their classmates. You gotta love that.
Absolutely.
That was Gary. still have a way to go card, MasterCard, debit card up here.
So Greenwood here, 2nd and 3. Press box still has a credit card from somebody here.
Just looking forward to that pizza party.
Joked around that they've ordered some Supreme pizzas.
Now Burnett, touchdown.
All right, and the Greenwood Woodmen score their 2nd touchdown of the night off of a rushing play.
And we still have an ice call. T-Mobile.
That was Burnett that got in right off the left side there. You know, they had 1st and goal from the 2. They get shut down on the 1st down play. On 2nd down, they come right back for it. This time they're going to try the point after. We saw them go for 2 earlier in the game.
Now keep in mind with this ISHA 35-point mercy rule, once you hit that threshold and you reduce that deficit, that running clock still remains.
Kick was blocked. Kick was really low coming off the foot of the kicker. And they had some guys in the backfield too, so I think he was a little bit rushed on that. So they're going to end up with 14 points on the night. You know, John, we were looking ahead. We were talking about the Plainfield schedule coming up. They've got some momentum now with 2 straight wins. Back half of the Mid-State Conference, Decatur Central coming to town, and then Franklin, Whiteland, Martinsville for Greenwood. Their schedule this year was pretty much home front-loaded. So they've got 3 out of their next 4 games on the road, including a couple of big rival games coming up for them, especially Whiteland in that season finale for them. So for Greenwood, they're at Perry next week, which is a winnable game for them. You go at Decatur Central, you're home to Franklin, and then at Whiteland. Franklin, a huge long-time rival here for the Woodmen, and Whiteland just down the road here from Greenwood High School, so a couple big rivals. And we heard earlier, I don't know if we haven't checked the score yet, but Decatur Central was leading Mooresville earlier in a big rivalry showdown. And right now, the Hawks leading the Pioneers 17-12. That would really shake up the Mid-State Conference standings too. Coming into tonight, Mooresville was tied at the top with Whiteland. They were both 2-0. Decatur Central can open that door a little bit for Whiteland, could change some things.
Absolutely. Not able to find the Parameridian score, who is Greenwood will be playing next. We'll have some scores to announce here during our post-game analysis. But here with 52 seconds left on the clock, writing is on the wall for the Greenwood Woodmen. Unfortunately, they will move on to 1-4 in their season. And for Plainfield, they will get their 2nd win in the season and improve to 2-3.
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it enough here in the 4th quarter, but what a massive win for Plainfield, right? Like, you start 0-3, you think, oh man, the season is over, right? But no, they got back up on that horse. You win 2 consecutive road games in conference, which are huge for the Quakers. Now you've got all that momentum, and not only have you won these games, you won both of these games going away, John. I mean, this was a dominating performance tonight by Plainfield. 3 consecutive touchdowns there in the first half. They were in total control. Greenwood made a little bit of a run, right? But you really didn't make any hay. And now Plainfield goes into the rest of the season, the back half of the schedule, like we talked about. They've got all the momentum. Coach Woodard's got his guys going in the right direction.
Yep. So there was a 6-second differential between the play clock and the game clock, but the referees just wanted to call it, let those last 6 seconds expire. So it is now official. Plainfield will defeat Greenwood 43-14 here in Greenwood, Indiana, during Greenwood's homecoming. And like we said, Plainfield will look ahead to play Decatur Central at home. Plainfield now 2-3, and Greenwood will be on the road next week, going to Parameridian. It's currently 1-4 Greenwood, trying to look for their 2nd win of the season. So, with that being said, we'll go ahead and take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back with our post-game analysis here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you.
Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Drive home your new Kia from the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. We have brand new Kias arriving daily.
Plus, we have a huge selection of certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And payments as low as $199 a month.
We service all makes and models.
And we'll buy your old car on the spot, right, Oscar?
Y hablamos español.
Come see us at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue.
It's not just a car dealership for me. This is my dealership.
Just minutes from anywhere in Indy or online at rayskillmanshadeland.com.
Welcome back to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's game was built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. We'll go ahead and read a few scores from around the state as some games start to finish up. Starting with Ben Davis and Warren Central. Ben Davis currently up 35-28. That game in the third quarter. Zionsville leading Noblesville 39-7 in the fourth quarter. Mooresville and Decatur Central, a very close game, 18-17 in the third quarter. Got Bloomington North ahead of Terre Haute North Vigo 34-20. Bishop Chatard is leading Columbus North 41-20. Franklin Central is ahead of Avon 31-28 in the fourth quarter. Roncalli defeats Gearin Catholic 49-10. Speedway leading Monrovia 41-10 in the fourth quarter. Hamilton Southeastern leading Westfield 20-14. We have Carroll ahead of Fort Wayne Bishop Dwenger 13-0. Whiteland is leading Perry Meridian 33-23 in the fourth quarter. Whiteland currently 4-0. Brownsburg is leading Fishers 38-21 in the fourth quarter. Indianapolis Lutheran 50-12 against Cascade in the third quarter. Center Grove with a 29-0 lead against North Central in the third quarter. And last but not least, Carmel defeats Lawrence North 38-14. So with that, moving into tonight's analysis, we talked a lot about going into this game, Greenwood with their rushing strength, 190 yards averaging per game. We had just talked kind of off the microphone how Greenwood, all in all, from the rushing perspective, only has 70 yards on the run today.
Yeah, that's disappointing if you're a Greenwood Woodman, right? Didn't really get that offensive flow, and we talked about it early in the first quarter. We thought that line of scrimmage was going to be the difference in this game. Either way, who was going to win? It was going to be Greenwood's defense against defensive line against Plainfield's offensive line, and then vice versa, right? Could the Greenwood offensive line get enough push against Plainfield to get that running attack going, and it just didn't. And I honestly think if we had a player of the game tonight, I'd give it to the starting 5 offensive linemen for Plainfield. They set the tone in that first quarter, in that first half. Those 3 consecutive long drives that just chewed up the clock, and it was on the ground, on the ground, on the ground, over and over. That was the difference in the game tonight.
I think a statistic that really surprises me tonight, Thad, is Greenwood actually had the ball longer than Plainfield. Plainfield had the ball for 22 minutes and 10 seconds. Greenwood had the ball for 25 minutes and 50 seconds. And with how much Plainfield had ran the ball and really killed the clock, I didn't see that coming.
No, I did not either. That's pretty surprising really across the board. I don't know if that gets skewed at all with the running clock or not, but honestly tonight, if you're Plainfield, you're a Quaker fan, you've been watching tonight, you weren't here in Greenwood to watch the game, you've got to be extremely pleased with how your team has played the last 2 weeks. We talked about it at the end of the fourth quarter. If you start 0-3, a lot of guys are hanging their heads, right? You know, the season's over, there's no way we're going to be able to bounce back to this or whatever. They come out last week at Perry Meridian, get a huge win. You travel to Greenwood tonight and completely dominate this football game basically from the get, right? And you're got to be super proud. If you're Coach Woodard, you've got your guys on a positive mindset right now. But, you know, the time of possession thing, that's what Greenwood wants, right? That's how Greenwood wants to play. They want to control the clock. They want to control the down and distance. You know, they want to have ball control on offense. And Plainfield negated all of that tonight.
Yeah, and I'd say two big key takeaways here that really influenced tonight's game is going back to those 3rd down and 4th down conversions. Greenwood was 1 for 11 from those 3rd down conversions, and we saw that a lot in the beginning where they just weren't able to convert those and let that game kind of slip out of their hands. But in retrospect, from the 4th down, they did score. They were able to convert 3 of their 4. Now, Plainfield never had to be in that situation. They never had to try and go for a 4th down conversion. 0 of 0 tonight. From a 3rd down conversion standpoint, they did convert 4 of their 7, but never had to be in that situation where they had to try and get that 4th down conversion for a 1st down.
Yeah, and the other thing with their lack of 3rd down conversions for Greenwood is that a lot of those 3rd down conversions were happening on their own end of the field, right? It was 3rd and 7 from their own 20. They were just not ever really in position in attack mode, if you will. Now, we saw them get a little aggressive there in the 2nd quarter once they were already down. They hit a couple of big throws to Noah Pringle, the touchdown to Campbell, but they were really, kind of behind on down and distance from where they wanted to be.
Absolutely. So, tough break here for Greenwood on their homecoming. They'll move to 1-4 as they travel to Perry Meridian next week, and Plainfield will improve to 2-3, and they will take on Decatur Central at home as the season continues to progress here in Indiana for some great football seasons. We appreciate everybody tuning in. It has been a great night, great weather, and great atmosphere at a very packed stadium here in Greenwood High School. We'll be broadcasting next week. We'll be covering the Indian Creek at Triton Central game, the Triton Central at Ritter game, the Roncalli at Brebeuf game, and Carmel versus North Central. So be sure to tune in next week. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Have yourselves a great weekend, a great week, and we'll catch you next time on Friday.
Tonight's game on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net has been built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. This has been a presentation of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net and High Gear Sports.